Hi, everybody. My name's Aisha Walker. I am a relationship coach and counselor, and I want to talk to you today about why so many relationships fail. Why is it that in this current age in the West, more than 50% of marriages will fail? Well, I would say, first of all, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Some relationships have come to their natural end. But why do others fail that don't need to? Well, for me, the answer is pretty simple. Never before have our expectation from relationships been so high. And again, that's not a bad thing. What we ask for from relationships nowadays is that our partner be not only our partner, but our soulmate, our best friend, our amazing, inspiring, continuously exciting lover, our confidant, our therapist sometimes. They may take on the role that would have been taken on in previous years by other family members or friends. With our families now so dissipated, people living in different parts of the world, the support that we would have got from family or from our community is now not so available to us. And so we look for all of that in one person, and that expectation is pretty high, and that standard is not easy to keep. Now compare that with, let's say, going back to your mother, your grandmother's time, perhaps your grandmother for most of us. And relationships were a lot simpler. Your partner was not expected to complete you. If we go back further still, the concept of a romantic aspect to the relationship was certainly not necessary. As for most parts of history, people got together in relationships to have children and to be provided for. Thankfully, those times are long gone, and we are in a very different period of history, and our expectations are wonderfully, in my opinion, high. So nothing wrong with high expectations. However, if you want your partner to be all of those things, well, you might have to put in a little more effort. So what do I mean by that? Well, I think most people have the idea going into relationships that if you deeply love that person and if they deeply love you, the rest will kind of work itself out. But when we look at what our needs are in relationship today, that is just not the case. We have so many pressures on couples, financial, emotional, mental. We have so many pulls on our time that navigating relationships with just our partner, navigating bringing up a family with just that one other person is extremely difficult. So what can we do? If we don't have access to the community or family structure that we would have had in past terms, what else is there? Well, I would say coming at relationships in a very different way, in a very, very practical way. I'm all about being practical in relationships, and I'm a huge romantic. But when I talk about being practical, well, yeah, loving somebody's great. But when you've been living with them for a few years and you have a disagreement, or your finances are interwoven, or you have completely different perspectives around important issues in your life, such as, let's say, childcare, running a home, how much you socialize, how much you travel, how do you navigate those things? How do you navigate those things and still be in love, still feel sexy with each other, still feel romantic? How do you do that? Well, I would say we need to get skilled in relationships. For me, relationships are a practice. Like you have yoga as a practice. You put in your time, you put in your effort, and you learn skills, and you learn skills from people who are skilled in that arena. So I'm glad to say I'm one of those people. I'm certainly not the only one. But if you want an extraordinary relationship and you want a relationship that meets those new expectations that we have in modern time, you might want to learn those skills from somebody who is a professional in this field. And amazingly, we live in this wonderful age where we all have access to that, whether you're seeing somebody like me, a relationship coach, whether you're going to AI chat to learn about it, or you're going to a talk, or you're reading a great book, or you're on YouTube. Go out and learn how to improve your communication, learn how to handle conflict differently, look into new ways you can be around things like finance in your relationship, so that it works for both of you. Looking to people who are experts on keeping that sexual spark alive in your relationship. Learn, go and get skilled. If you want yourself to have an amazing, growing, evolving relationship, that's what it takes today. And for me, that's the good news, because if you can do all those things, and we have access to all of those things, and you are prepared to put in the time and the effort, nowadays you can. So I hope in these series of videos that I'm going to be doing, or vlogs, I'm going to be able to share some of my own tips, tools and techniques that are going to help you with some of those challenges, because that is what I'm all about. So if you've enjoyed this vlog today and you'd like to know a little bit more, please subscribe, like, connect. Check in again in a week's time, because this is going to be a regular thing. And have an amazing, wonderful week. Until then, goodbye for now.